Alright guys, we're finally going into this match after a couple of delays there and some weird sound effects. SERRAL and Hero. SERRAL in the top left, Hero in the bottom right. Looks like the delay there seems to have bumped SERRAL's heart rate up a little bit to about 110. Hero sitting at just below 100. It's going to be Winter Madness to start things off. SERRAL had some very standard vetoes, took out the real turtley maps, Taito and Celestial Enclave, that are good for Protoss to kind of survive to the late game. SERRAL did say in his interview on the stage he feels like Zerg can get a mid-game economy advantage if they play really perfectly, and that's where their advantage lies, but the late game goes back in Protoss' favor. Obviously, it's kind of funny because he's the one Zerg where that usually isn't the case in terms of results at the very least, where he does find a way usually to beat Protoss players in the late game. But we'll see how it goes. It's going to be really interesting. I do think Protoss should be a little worse with the Storm doing less damage in the late game and Broodlords shooting a little bit faster. But I think it's still a very similar dynamic to what it's been for many years, and that if the Protoss marauds around the map with like Archon, Carrier, Storm, the Zerg has to be very precise. One misstep and they will just get pounded through by that army. But SERRAL, he is of course the very man who is almost always incredibly precise. And he does make those armies often look kind of helpless when they face against him. Probe's going to be going in here. Got some people who are about to go to sleep tuning in. Wow, you guys chose the wrong time. Oh, I like the hiding in the back. Stalker first. Okay, Stalker first into Stargate. No, into Forge. Sorry, I'm laughing, guys, because Forge first in this matchup is such a meme. What is he doing? He could do a +1 charge load all in. I think it's going to be a 3-base play. So the cool thing about the Forge is it builds your strength later in the game. It doesn't give you anything that does direct damage to your opponent except maybe +1 Zealots, which can two-shot Zerglings and do really well, especially if the Zerg's trying to go and defend with, like, pure Zergling. You can follow up with a +2 timing. The old school +2 Immortal Archon timing can be very nice as well. Twilight Council goes down reasonably quickly after the Forge. Still 3 workers on each gas and continuing to probe, though. That Stalker, he's missed the Overlord. Hero, I guess, or did he want to bait it in? He wanted to bait it in. SERRAL reacts very quickly. I think it escapes. At least it doesn't scout anything. Pig, the crowd noise was unbearable. There are some really weird crowd issues. Sorry, I second game volume. What do you guys want with game volume? Guys, if you have audio, then you got to tell me specifically what you want. You're going to say volume up 20%, but it's all one audio track. I don't control it. Crowd noise is a bit random, I know. But yeah, I don't have any control over that. So if you guys have any specific issues, you guys are going to have to let me know in the chat. Sorry, we are casting this one live off a feed, guys. But you need to be specific about like audio track versus my voice. And that's the only thing I can control. I can't control anything else. And remember, it will increase the sound of everything else. If you guys just say one thing in isolation, you can't do anything there. So I think right now we have it pretty close to perfect. Robo Templar Archives. So he's going to go 3-base charge on Immortal Archon. It's a 60 probe timing attack with +2. Haven't called it. I think he said 2-base, but I think this is going to be a 3-base +2 Immortal Archon. Maybe 55 probes, but probably 60. No gases on the 3rd, I would imagine. SERRAL, of course, trying to figure out what the heck is going on. This is a good catch for him. Very good catch. The Adept, not getting any reinforcements warped in time. Oh, those follow-up Adepts are going to have a bit of surface area on them as well. But the Adepts are getting some tax here. SERRAL's going to pull back those units. 6 roaches on the way. He has no... SERRAL is like, what is this, man? He sees the Prism and the Templar Archives. He builds 8 roaches. He goes back to droning, realizing he can't stop droning just yet. 4th hatchery's on the way. SERRAL's only on 2 gases. SERRAL does need to drop a 3rd and 4th gas very soon. But you can always see SERRAL's such an efficient player. He knows that getting his mineral count up first is important. But there we go. 3rd gas goes down and the 4th gas. Because if he doesn't get those up, he's not going to be able to build enough roaches to defend. All right, Archon's morphing on the front line. Ling's going to the right side as well. +2 is well underway. No gases on the third just yet. That's what SERRAL's looking for. If he sees no gases on the third, he will not go above 66 drones. Told me this many years ago. They don't have gases on the third. Stop at the 3 base, 66 workers. You don't need more than that. Right now, he's actually going to 71. But he's staying low tech. He's staying on a roach style. He's picking off more probes as well. His lings have been incredibly precise. Here we go. Zealot Archon pressure. Gonna try and snipe this 4th base. Should be plenty of roaches, but are they in position? Queens are a bit exposed. Roaches and lings a little bit out of the way. Good pullback on those queens. Nice transfuse to start things off. Roaches will get down there and start to defend. Great transfuses. Gonna buy a fair bit of time here. Drones even getting in the mix. 3 drones do go down. SERRAL is now massing roaches. Does he have roach speed, guys? I feel like he doesn't. Gonna need to start that sooner rather than later. I think he's forgotten it. There's no way roach speed could have been here. Why is China randomly 50G? All right, you guys are going to need to speak English in your questions if you want actual answers. I'm going to keep actually casting the games now, guys. Sorry for the kind of awkward start here. The Archon goes down, hero! Unloading on the roaches, sloppy. SERRAL's still forgotten roach speed, guys. He finally remembers it as he moves across the map. Hydra Den and Infestation Pit are almost finished. More drones coming in. SERRAL's kind of faking a roach push while transitioning behind. Hero going in with a nice little Zealot counter to buy time. And SERRAL kind of annoyed by this. He did not want to be dealing with this. He was moving his whole army across the map. He's going to lose at least 7 or 8 drones, maybe more. You can see he just split his roaches up on this first-person view because he realized, okay, my 4th base on the left is open. If more Zealots run in there, I don't want to be losing more workers again. And you can see, guys, he lost, I think, 9, 10, 12 workers. That was really good for Hero. Problem is, Hero doesn't have a 4th base. And I don't think he has Psystorm either, but he's going to have 2 on upgrades really soon. We'll see what Hero can get done. I feel like without a 4th base, there's just no economic pressure on SERRAL, though. SERRAL knows he can just chill on 8 gas, make lurkers, and he will be in an okay spot. It was very impressive drone drill micro to keep those queens alive. Got to agree with that, gang. Got to agree with that. Most people would have just lost the queens and the drones. Zealot drop's going to come in that left side. SERRAL's army supply is dangerously low. I think Storm might have already finished, guys. Oh, chat's pointing out he does have Psystorm. Okay, he does have Psystorm. I mean, he's got 6 High Templar full on energy. Storm must have finished upgrading just earlier than I expected it. Queens are defending that side. It's a pretty scary push. 3 Immortals, 1 Archon, a pack of Zealots. 2-1's not ready just yet, but +2 is. The Roaches managed to get through the first Psystorm pretty darn well. No Prism. Where's the Prism? Still on the right side, though, which means he can't pick up these Immortals and High Templar, but he's doing a good job, man. The Psystorm's just tickling down this Roach Hydra very effectively. More Zealots running the natural at the same time. SERRAL may have been too greedy in this game. The High Templar Immortal Archon push moving in. That hatchery could get clicked on at any moment. He does take it down and recalls. SERRAL taps out. SERRAL was not prepared. And it was that Roach run by, that the Zealot run by on the natural got 12 drones, and he re-droned back to 83. It was just a bit too greedy there, and he just wasn't quite ready for this push. Needed to greed it out on the map and be more ready for it, but SERRAL wondering what the hell went on, and he got stuck being a bit too defensive. All right, guys, going into the next game, we've got Hero down here in the bottom right side of the map. SERRAL in the top left. That was a really cool strategy. I mean, he just had earlier upgrades than normal. SERRAL was kind of paranoid and wondering, what are you doing? What is the plan the entire time? And that is stressful. That's really, really stressful because there's just this weird thing. You're like, well, he doesn't have a 4th, so I'm way ahead, right? But then Hero's army moves out and you think, well, is it that scary? It's just 3 Immortals, but he had Storm shockingly early. I didn't even realize it had actually finished. So he had, what would he have, like 10 Psystorms? 3 Immortals, a pack of well-upgraded Zealots, an Archon in the mix as well. And SERRAL might be thinking, maybe we don't want to play Roaches this next game. Maybe he tries to be a bit greedier, get straight into the Hydralisks, forces Hero to be a bit more active as a player. Because if you think about it, Hero's opening wouldn't have actually punished a greedier build for SERRAL. He was kind of relying on SERRAL being a very safe player and going, I don't know what's happening. I have to build Lings. Now I have to build Roaches. I have to stay safe. SERRAL got really good value with his Lings picking off probes. What is this wall-off placement? Guys, what is this wall-off? That pylon placement is... What is this wall? What? Hero, why do you never practice your wall-offs, bro? He can't close that wall off unless he uses a second pylon. Or maybe he's planning to full wall. That is insane. This is such a bad wall, man. Yeah, the observer looks confused. Like, everyone looks confused if they know StarCraft. Ooh, SERRAL almost loses a drone. But yeah, Hero is kind of famous for taking trash walls, guys. I don't know what his plan is. Even a pylon will create a diagonal choke point, I believe. But Hero doing Hero things, as is to be expected. Overlord chilling next to the pillar. It'll hide on that pillar for now, but I don't think it can escape the Stalker unless the Zerglings run in at the same time. Because an Oracle's going to fly over and, of course, provide high ground vision. Stalker should stay nearby and stop that Overlord from retreating. We're on Hero's camera. Hero's actually not checking. That Overlord could be running away into the dead space right now. He's trying to figure out the wall off. He's trying to figure out the wall off. We got the first-person view of Hero bring up the pylon on the building grid just to be like, how am I going to close this? You can see him in real time figuring it out. Hero is such a friggin' funny guy. And then he built it there? What is that? You can hear the Chinese commentators laughing as well. Oh my god, he's just gonna full wall and kill the pylon. The thing is that if that pylon goes down, the second gate will be depowered as well. So someone was asking me before this series starts, because we had quite a few tech issues and things before the games, and someone said, okay, so SERRAL has never lost a best of 5 to Hero. What does Hero need to do to make this be like a more even match for future predictions? And I literally was like, okay, there is an opening above that gateway. Okay, there is an opening above the gateway. He does the edge wall off. That's hilarious. Still a bit of a cumbersome wall. Pylon opening is a bit awkward. And he's expanding on the side away from his opening, which sucks. Anyways, back to the story. Sorry, I keep getting sidetracked. Someone said, how did they make it even? And I said, well, look, if you look at Hero, he's kind of beaten SERRAL a bunch of times in a lot of games. He just never finishes the series off. He always chokes and does something incredibly silly in these high-pressure moments against SERRAL. So the real trick here, if you're Hero, is just don't make those incredibly silly mistakes. And I already feel like Hero has probably made a few small, kind of suboptimal choices with his build order because he was distracted by his wall off. Because he's built his pylon in an entirely random position. And then he's going, oh, how do I fix this? And you could see him in real time trying to kind of compute what he was supposed to do to make up for that. Oh, okay, SERRAL losing not only a random drone, but a few Zerglings as well. Oh, Hero, and he says no Spore Crawler. Yeah, I'll take a few drones. Let's go. Great first run by that for Hero. He does see the early 4th base in the north as well. Lair comes up at about 4 minutes 55. Third and fourth, second and third gas going down. Charge once again, so no blink openings. If Hero keeps doing charge instead of blink, I would not be surprised to see SERRAL opt for potentially Mutalisk plays, number one. Number two is Swarm Host plays. Swarm Host Knight is very powerful if they don't have the mobility of Blink Stalkers to deal with it. Two more gateways, Templar Archives coming in. SERRAL has gone for the safety Roach Warren. He doesn't want to get stuck on too many Roaches, but he's got a very good work account. He should be building Roaches right now. To not build Roaches from this economy, that fast 4th base, a bit greedy. He's going only Zerglings. Is he going to try to skip Roaches and just go Hydras? Because if so, he's going to die to Zealot Archon. Yeah, he's in trouble, man. I get he can deny the Archon's morphing. Oh! Hero's going to lose an Oracle. Big mistake. He's going to try to whoop an Eye Templar there. Honestly, I think I would have committed to fighting that with the Zerglings. Would have forced him to cancel it. Ling's going to commit now on the Archon morph, but I think he realizes with an Oracle overhead and up against the wall where he can't get us around, that ain't going to work out. 8 Roaches are on the way as well as Overlord Speed. Roach Speed does get remembered this time, but not without a bit of a delay. We haven't seen an early 4th base in game 1. I wonder if Hero's going to keep this pattern throughout the series of get the aggression going on 3 base and just up the tempo. SERRAL looks like he just wants to counterattack after defending this with mass Roach and maybe a Queen drop. Only one Oracle on the map. He honestly could just A-move the Roaches and ignore the air entirely. The Queens are going to go down, though. That's a really good start here. The Roaches are just a little bit out of position. You see the immobility of Roaches. Roaches are good at stopping Zealot all-ins, but they're not good at completely shutting it down because they're just not mobile enough. And Roach speed, once again being late, is actually really costing SERRAL. Hero getting some lovely damage right now. SERRAL is defending the 4th base pretty well. He has enough Roaches. They're just not in the right position. Finally, they all get together. Oh, Archon to the left, Archon to the left. Those drones are stacked. Those drones are stacked, mate. 8 workers go down. Oh, my lord. Hero's kind of mauling him right now, dude. SERRAL's taking unnecessary damage, and wow, is SERRAL washed? Is what Twitch chat's saying. Someone was saying before the series, we haven't seen SERRAL play in months. Has he actually been playing? And I said, shame on you. SERRAL never plays outside of major tournaments. Of course he'll be in practice. Of course he'll look fantastic. Don't you dare doubt him. Well, I might be starting to doubt him. We'll see. A few unforced errors. He's going to go for a pretty decent Roach attack, but Storm will be ready, as will some Immortals. I don't see any High Templar. Are there any Immortals actually out? It's a scary Roach army, but the supply difference is looking really good for Protoss, not Zerg. Roach Ravager is not efficient on the supply. SERRAL would be much happier if he had a 60 or 70 supply lead. He's got only a 30 supply lead, but the Zealots aren't doing very well. The Zealots are overcommitting to this fight. It's a bad fight for Hero. I don't think Hero should be chasing this army. I think Hero should be pulling back his Zealots a lot more, because now all of his Zealots are gone. And I think the Zealots only want to engage once the Roach Ravager jumps on top of your Immortal Archon. He loses an Archon already. Not using the Prism Salt pickup. Another Archon up top, incredibly low. Hero's army micro here. It's a little hit or miss. Some things done very well. A few things being a little bit messed up, though. And Twitch... Is YouTube fine? So apparently Twitch is having issues, guys. Let me know on YouTube if the YouTube stream is fine. We had no issue over here, as far as I can tell. But it looks like the Twitch stream might have had some issues. Back now. SERRAL's attack has been held on. He's going Tunneling Claws, but he's in a terrible spot. Oracle flies over a 4th base that has no anti-air on it. He's already lost most of his queens earlier. Gets a few probes with some biles. But SERRAL is going to need to dig deep to get back in this game. It's only a 3-base Protoss, though, and I think that's something SERRAL might need to realize. His Hero's looking like he's much more willing to play 3-base PvZ, not the fast 4-base. All right, Roach Ravager dancing. Trying to kite, but the Phoenix actually disabling a few of these Ravagers. He biles one of them down at least. At least he gets a punish taking down one of the Phoenix. You might be wondering, why did he build Phoenix? Hero was worried about a Mutaswap, of course, guys. Good control here for Hero. Hero's got a pretty good ball. He's going to split his army off now. Half on the right, half on the left. Tunneling Claw Roaches are going to struggle to get in here, man. These Roaches trying to run away. It's nothing but Roaches for SERRAL. He's only now starting at +1. The Roach Ravager is going to try to run through the Storms and click on the High Templar and the Archons, but takes big damage on the way through. But a few of the High Templar do fall. Not all of them, though. And those Storms are stacking up the damage, aren't they? SERRAL's going to have to burrow just to heal his units, keep them alive to fight another day. But Hero's just keeping this down and dirty. And he's doing incredibly well with this straight Zealot build. One has to wonder, where's the classic Queen Walk? Either of these games, if SERRAL went for the old school, just walk 4 Queens across, hit off 38 drones, 2 gases, 10 Roaches, Lings rallying behind. Hero's build is incapable of defending a classic Queen Walk. But SERRAL, if he loses this game and he's looking like he's on the road to losing it, is going to be on match point, which means I don't think he wants to do any Queen Walks after that. SERRAL might get 3-0'd out in the first round of the Thunderfire Invitational. The Immortal does get focused. Good focus there for SERRAL. But then the Storm drop on the Ravagers. Hero is looking absolutely mint, isn't he? Hot diddly damn. Oh my gosh. Didn't they remove the heal from Burrow? No, they just lowered the heal rate, I think, and the movement speed maybe a little bit on those Tunneling Claw Roaches. SERRAL is going to tap out with a whimper rather than a bang. And SERRAL is just getting mauled. He's taking uncharacteristic amounts of damage in the early game. He's looking a little bit stiff trying to play Roaches here into this style. And I do think roaches can work, but I think he has to commit hard to a big timing attack to punish these zealot openings. And the thing is, you're playing hero. He's so hard to pin down. How are you going to predict what he's going to do next? He's probably going to play Blink in the next game. You can't gamble everything on an all-in now. SERRAL trying to play defensive in this series against hero. And he's finding himself now down 0-2. If he can make this reversal, it'll be very impressive. The pattern is once a year for the last 4 years, SERRAL shows up to a tournament not looking quite like himself. There's one tournament a year where he gets wiped 3-0 and he goes home very quickly. I'm hoping this is not that tournament. All right, guys, going into the next game. SERRAL is on his last life in the entire tournament. It's a single elimination tournament, best of 5. And right now, Hero is playing kind of European-style StarCraft almost. You know, well, not really, but like, I don't know, like Christianer? You know, just make a couple oracles, make charge. And then he's just flowing really well with the charge Immortal Archon. The Forge in the first game, I think, has really thrown SERRAL off. Spawning pool gas after hatchery. Looks pretty typical for SERRAL. And Hero's going to get away with a no scout opening. Oh, man. So Hero's got a really greedy opening here. Because he knows SERRAL's not going to risk everything when he's down 0-2 on a 12 pool. Oh. That's rough. It's White Rabbit. It's a rather large map. I've been enjoying Hydras a lot lately. It's hard to get out Hydras against someone who rushes to Zealot Archon unless you're willing to rush your lair and go straight Hydras. A build that all the non-SERRAL Zergs are mixing in a rather high amount of the time. SERRAL does not seem willing to do so. I'm wondering if he could opt for a Baneling into Hydra play. You know, go Lingbane Hydra, but start with a Baneling Nest, 7 Queens. Because his economy's being good. He just hasn't had the mobility to shut down the Zealot run-bys and the Warp Prism rotations. Caster Bias doesn't want Hero to 3-0. Shaking my head. No one wants Hero to 3-0. We want to see more of Hero's build. I'd love to see Hero win 3-2. But we want SERRAL to win some games. Because if he just 3-0s him in like 8 minutes right now, people aren't even going to think of this as an epic hero win. They're going to be like, oh, there was that one time where SERRAL just didn't show up. You know, people will dismiss it. They'll be like, oh, yeah, I guess SERRAL was off that day. I guess SERRAL wasn't practicing, you know? But, like, I want to see more games always. I want to see a good back-and-forth series if possible. And I want to see both sides overcome a bit of adversity. You know, it's always nice when both players adapt to each other a bit. And you still see a player just you know, crush it in the end of it. Can hear some nice laughter from the Chinese audience there. Hero baits his opponents to overextend more than you'd think. Oh, a ton. Yeah. He makes the games very scrappy. So people always end up in situations that are a little bit less calculated than they normally would be. No, I totally agree with that. He's very defensive this opening, so SERRAL has been rather optimized with his build. He's got about 10 Zerglings coming out that'll come pressure the third. I think SERRAL's Spore in his main should already be finished, right? Oh, actually, he's building so many Zerglings. Maybe he's not going to build Spores. He might just look for a cancel on the third and skip Spores entirely. This is more of a very defensive, greedy build into a very quick third base, guys. SERRAL, it feels like he's kind of waiting for the Oracle to fly across the map. He's got a Spore out front his base as well. I think that's to move over there. And oh, nice surround. Ah, not actually a complete surround. But he's going to get rid of, I think, 2 of these Adepts. Third and fourth, both taking a bit of damage. And lures the Oracles over here. Oracles, of course, will turn on their lasers. Lings do juke past them into the Natural. Natural's wide open. SERRAL, go in, go in, go in, SERRAL! Okay, I guess maybe he didn't want to go in because it's Hero. The door was wide open. There was an Oracle coming out, though. Quite a few Zerglings already cleaned up, though. 18 for just 2 Adepts. 10 more drones are building. There is a Spore indeed finished in the main. I think he's got a Spore on each base now. I would have loved to see him get in there with those lings. That door was wide open. I think seeing the Stalker head to the third is what tells you the Protoss has used the select all army key, because that Stalker's normally the doorman. If you see that Stalker arrive at the third base and 2 more Adepts, there aren't any other warp-ins available at that moment in the game. That's why the Stalker's kind of the thing where if SERRAL wanted to go in the base, the Stalker was what told him it was open. It wasn't enough lings to do crazy damage. There were going to be more warp-ins soon, plus an Oracle coming out. He didn't know about the third Oracle. We are once again seeing early Templar Archives in charge. SERRAL can't engage the Adepts, though. He's going Roach Roar and 6 gas. SERRAL is going to knuckle down. Ooh, earlier Hydra Den this time. Okay, so he might actually try to go straight to Hydras. Honestly, I think the Hydra Den's too late, though. I don't think his lair was early enough to pull that off. Then again, the Warp Prism's slow. Actually, here is Warp Prism's late. Yeah, he can get to Groove Spine Hydras in time. Never mind. Never mind. He actually can do it. If SERRAL skips Roaches, goes straight Hydras, and plays Hydra Bane like we were talking about, it can work. Oh my god, he should have fought with the drones, maybe? 8 drones go down. But at least the Adepts are cleaned up. SERRAL re-drones a little bit here. Oh, he's still going Roach speed. No Evo Chamber either, right? Man, SERRAL's struggling with the early game. Hero's up in Workers right now. Oracle's grabbed 3 Workers as well. Dude, Hero's just looking really smooth. Really well prepared for his opponent. And SERRAL might not have an answer to the charge openings today. Storm is coming in super early once more. And there's just no fear for Hero. He just feels like, look, I'm in the driver's seat. I can go straight to Mass High Templar with Storm and gather all the energy in the world. Overlord speed starts up. That worries me. That tells me SERRAL's going to go mass drop. SERRAL's going to go for a mid-game all-in. He might have been honest in that interview, guys, where he was talking about Zerg being good in the mid-game, but then falling off in the late game. I think he mauls Hero in the late game. Not even competitive, but he doesn't seem to believe that. The Overlord speed, I guarantee you, we're going to see like 5 Dropper-Lords. 7 Dropper-Lords. He's going to go to the right and try to Doom drop the main while attacking the third base with the other half of his army. I mean, it could work out maybe, but he cannot let it get spotted. His army's getting scouted by these Revelations. And those Zealots are already ready on the left side for a run-by. SERRAL is fully committed to a 4-base all-in. Hero has no vision of the worker line on the 4th. He doesn't know. He just sees an army coming across, so he's playing with extra safety here. His High Templar is scouting in front of his army, which is a bit crazy. This is Hero we're talking about. Does send his Zealots in. SERRAL pulls his whole army back for these Zealots. No, he doesn't. Okay, SERRAL just split his army. SERRAL just split some units on the right side of the map, so they could loop in from behind. If he sees that army coming, he's got to loop those units in from behind. Zerglings just got mauled by those Zealots, but the Hydra Queen finally defends it. Oh, he's ready for a surround, though. Hero stepping on creep here would be a massive mistake. Oh, SERRAL's flank isn't going in. Is that just Overlords? Is the blue blob just Overlords? I thought he had army over there as well, but he might not. Units lost tab looking pretty good for Hero. He's got a lot of Psy Storms available. New Storm is a fantastic mid-game zoning tool. Oh, the Hydra's getting overrun. There's more Storm here as well. SERRAL's trying to fall back, but he knows those Storms are going to come down. He's going to run out of room to run. The drones and Hydra's starting to go down. But Hero's supply is starting to dwindle. 6 drones already dying on this 4th base. SERRAL just did not have a big economy in this match. He's trying to fight this out with Hydra Queen. The Zealots are doing so good against this, as are the Storms. That Archon will go down before it finishes morphing. I think SERRAL might barely defend, but wait, there's so many Zealots. It's so many Zealots, Tasteless. Oh my lord. I think he's going to lose the 4th base, and that is all you really need here as Hero. You take the 4th, you run away, you're in a good spot. He will lose an Immortal. Bit sloppy. Oh, no, he doesn't. He saves it. Few Zealots will go down, but SERRAL losing his 4th puts him in a disastrous spot. As a Zerg, you need that 4th base to transition forwards on. It's going to take out a lot of Zealots and Stalkers. Very effective chase. Does force the recall there. If he defends the 4th, this is an entirely different game, because SERRAL can build 1 round of drones, transfer 10 workers or 8 workers out of his main, and then he can keep building Hydras and do other things. But right now, SERRAL needs to go for tactical Hydra drops. Like 4 Hydras in the main, 4 Hydras in the 3rd, main army tries to snipe the Nexus in the front and then run away. He's going to go for a kind of Doom drop in the main, and I just don't know if it's all there. It's odd to see SERRAL not ahead in these games. Normally SERRAL's EVP is such a masterclass because he gets ahead early, he takes leads, he studies his opponent's builds, shuts them down. That's part. I've always said that the reason SERRAL looks so unstoppable in this matchup is he gets ahead pretty much every game against every opponent. And then people talk about how unbeatable he is. And it's because his openings are so good. He has not got ahead in a single opening here against Hero. And Hero is making it really difficult for him, but the Doom drop comes in, finds a fleet beacon. Mama hasn't started yet. Templar Archives. Dude, the Hydra's dropped into a cage. The Hydra's dropped into a cage. He's not looking at him. Okay, he does break free there, but dude, he kind of caged himself. He's going to try and pick up here. These are not medevacs. They do not have boost. Can he snipe this in the middle? I think he can overwhelm this. There is one more Storm there, but the Zealots, of course, fighting into mass range units do struggle. So many more Zealots coming. He's going to pick up and fly away. Good pick up in the main base. SERRAL's still on 63 workers, though. He's got to get rid of this fourth base. Even if he gets rid of it, Hero's still got good gas income for the next few minutes. And I really feel like SERRAL's army supply is dangerously close to Hero's right now. He might get overrun by these Zealots, bro. He's trying to run. These Hydras need to stutter step. Oh, no, he's going to lose them all, mate. He's going to lose them all. Every single Hydra's going to get chased down by those Zealots. They're not killing any of them. Hero can now just chase into the production. Hero is building a random Tempest and Mothership right now. Now you might be wondering, why is he doing that? The reason is he's Hero and he's clicking buttons at random while mauling the greatest player of all time. That is right. He is mauling SERRAL right now. The 3-0. Oh my lord, it is within his grasp. Way too many Hydras got caught there on the retreat. SERRAL was in a desperate spot after the earlier push. That's why he went for that counterattack. But SERRAL here, a little bit too stiff in this game, did not have faith in his ability to claw back into a slow late game against Hero. And Hero's +2 Zealot Immortal Archon gets it done. A stunning and shocking victory for Hero.